Welcome. You're watching us rolling coverage of the coronavirus, COVID-19, and day 4 today, of course. And we've heard that there are well over 1,200 people in the country now that have been confirmed as positive. Joining us on the line now is a person who's chosen to remain anonymous, and she approached us to share her experiences regarding this coronavirus pandemic. Anonymous, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Please share with us how you're feeling at this time.
I think each day you take it by, it offers you different reaction. But what I want to talk about, Peter, is, when one is diagnosed with COVID-19, you personally are going through so much emotion, psychologically, physically, mentally. So this is a time when you even need time to understand what is going on with your body itself. Now, it gets worse when you get attacked by people that you're supposed to trust. In my case, I shared my status with my neighbors because I live in a small estate where there are only 4 homeowners. And we are supposed to have a meeting on Friday, and I chose to tell them of my status because I didn't want to come to a meeting infected. I didn't know by disclosing to them I was opening myself to a violation of my human rights, a hateful and shameful act that will not suit. I felt I had been attacked twice, one by the disease itself, and 2 by my neighbors. To tell you,
Anonymous,
sorry?
Tell us a bit about the kind of attacks that you've been having to endure.
Yes. They called a police raid on me. Since I was diagnosed, I went to a hospital, and the hospital told me to be in isolation for 14 days. So I followed the process. So they called the police raid on me and health services. So the police were knocking and badging outside my door, wanting me to open the door, which I refused. First, I refused because I had to keep my isolation, and 2, I didn't call police, nor did I call any health services, nor did I need them. I felt that was a number of things happened there. It means my neighbors also disclosed my status to the police without my permission. That's also a violation of my constitutional rights. The police also didn't even call to clarify first before they barged in, nor the health services barged in. But we have subsequently later dealt with the police and the health services.
Did the police tell you what they wanted when they were knocking at the door?
Yes, they claim my neighbor felt unsafe. Unsafe in what way? I don't know. Because if I'm staying in my house, how will they be affected by me being in isolation in my own home?
Did the police then leave, or did they continue to try and gain entry?
No, they threatened to actually bring a warrant of arrest. Now, you explain to me, why would they get a warrant of arrest? What crime has one committed?
Did they...
a colonel called me and asked me few questions. If I was isolating myself, and if there had been people coming in and out of my house that day, which I answered to them, and then he asked them then to withdraw. But that time, you are highly traumatized. My family, my son who lives also in the estate, not in not in the house, saw the whole thing. They were equally traumatized by what they saw. It actually reminded me of the police raids that used to happen during apartheid, where the police used to raid people's homes.
Have the authorities since apologized to you?
Yes, they have apologized, but I still need an official apology.
What about the neighbors? Have they been in contact with you since the raid?
No, they actually increased the harassment. The following day, in the morning, I was woken up by more harassment from my neighbors.
What kind of harassment? What did they do?
Now, they want even to know who my doctor is and the status of the rest of my family. That also intrusion to my privacy.
All right. Have you not reported them to the authorities so that they stop harassing you?
We have taken an action, and we are considering a number of things to do as well. This is the time, honestly, things like this must stop. Imagine now how many people are going to be fearful of disclosing, fearful of attacks. This to me, I volunteered to talk to you because I feel this is bigger than me. This information needs to go out there. If people are tested and they are positive, they need all the time to recoup. They need peace, they need understanding, they need compassion, not shameful and hateful reaction.
And it really must have been a sad thing for you to have to face this. I mean, at this time we should all be working together, and there is power in disclosure because then we know how to manage the virus.
Yes, for me as well. I mean, in my estate, like I said, we have 4 homeowners, 2 are black people and 2 are white people. So this came from my white neighbors. So this becomes a racist issue. So the coronavirus now, it forces people to react and in the form of entitlement and encroaching boundaries.
How are you feeling? Any symptoms at this stage? How are you coping?
No, I'm fine. I'm working towards maintaining and boosting my immune system and trying to stay calm. All I need is to enjoy the peace of my house, and I'm not going to bow down to pressure from external.
All right, and then perhaps finally, some advice for people who may have gotten a diagnosis. What should they do? How should they get through this time? And then finally also to people at large, once they find out that somebody is diagnosed positive for COVID-19.
People have responded differently. There have been people that immediately when they heard of my statement, the kindness, the goodness came out. People asking, how can I help? What do you need? And obviously, there has been a reaction, like I said, from my racist neighbors who responded in that vulgar, barbaric manner. So there were all kinds of reactions that came out. So what people need to know is the people that are affected, they don't need an extra stress from outside. Already your immune system is compromised. And stress exacerbates that. So we don't need that. And to other fellow people that have been diagnosed positively, I would say try to stay calm and try to also avoid watching a lot of news about the disease itself. Because what is out there at times is scary, and it doesn't necessarily mean that what is happening to others will happen to you. And stay positive. And I would also say, just know that this is going to pass. Begin to think about the future and let your mind, visualize what you're going to do next. And then you'll persevere this and you'll go through it.
All right, Anonymous, we're going to leave it there, but thank you very, very much indeed for bravely coming onto the line and sharing your story with us. I know it can't be easy, especially given what you've gone through in the last few days. So just to let you know that during our pre-screening, we agreed not to reveal her identity, and partly because of the kind of persecution that she's gone through. A powerful message from her that if you know somebody who is positive for COVID-19, they need support. It could be you at some point. So please be careful and be kind and compassionate. This isn't something that people are going around hoping to get or trying to get. It's a misfortune. And given the numbers that are playing out around the world, there's a good chance that somebody that you know is probably going to get this virus. And so please, let's not make it one of these kinds of diseases that people have to try and hide in shame.